Okay, y'all, listen close, because what I'm about to lay on the table right here is going to make every single woman watching this video clutch her chest, and every single man watching it nod like he just heard the truth out loud for the first time in his life. Klay Thompson, four-time NBA champion, the quietest, most peaceful, most boat-on-the-lake by-himself man in the entire league, just got dragged into a courtroom of the internet, and the prosecution is Megan Thee Stallion's loudest fan base.
Why?
Because allegedly, the real reason Klay Thompson walked away from Megan Thee Stallion was not money, not cheating, not distance, not schedules, not even fame. The real reason Klay Thompson allegedly walked away from Megan Thee Stallion was 4 words.
2. Ghetto. 2. Loud.
And once those 4 words hit the timeline this weekend, the whole internet caught fire. And y'all, I'm here to tell you the fire is just getting started. Because what nobody is saying out loud, what nobody on the panels is brave enough to say into the microphone, is that this breakup is not really about Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion at all. This breakup is the first public crack in a war that's been brewing under the surface for 10 years, a quiet civil war between modern men and modern women, and Klay Thompson just accidentally became the face of it. So sit down, lock in, because the angle I'm bringing to this story has not been touched by one single commentator, one single podcast, one single blog, not one. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at Klay Thompson, Megan Thee Stallion, and every couple you've ever known a little bit differently. Now let me set the table for everybody just tuning in. Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion dated. It was loud. It was public. It was yachts. It was matching outfits. It was Klay Thompson, the man who is known league-wide for going fishing alone, sitting on a boat alone, eating dinner alone, suddenly standing courtside with Megan Thee Stallion in a sequin dress, while Megan Thee Stallion is chanting hottie chants in the middle of a fine dining restaurant. And the world ate it up, because opposites attract, right? Because love is love, right?
Wrong.
Because what we are now finding out, allegedly, is that the entire time Klay Thompson was smiling in those pictures, Klay Thompson was internally screaming. Allegedly, Klay Thompson told people in his circle that Megan Thee Stallion had no inside voice. Allegedly, Klay Thompson told people Megan Thee Stallion did not know when to tone it down, did not know when to switch the energy, did not know when she was in a room full of elites versus a room full of fans. And the moment that audio of that allegation leaked, the timeline split in half like the Red Sea. On one side, the women said Klay Thompson knew what he was getting into. Klay Thompson saw the music videos. Klay Thompson saw the lyrics. Klay Thompson saw the hot girl summer t-shirts. So Klay Thompson cannot now turn around and complain that Megan Thee Stallion is exactly the woman Megan Thee Stallion advertised herself to be. On the other side, the men said every man on planet Earth, when asked what he wants from a woman, says the same word, peace, and the literal dictionary opposite of peace is loud. And here is where it gets surgical, y'all. Here is where the timeline turned into a war zone. Because both sides are right and both sides are wrong, and the part nobody is brave enough to put on camera is that this is not really about volume at all. This is about a man who built an empire on silence trying to date a woman who built an empire on noise and finding out, 8 months in, that you cannot file down a hurricane into a candle just because you like how the candle smells. Let me show y'all what I mean. Klay Thompson is famous, league famous, for one thing other than basketball, and that one thing is solitude. Klay Thompson takes a small boat out, by himself, into the open water, with no entourage, no influencers, no cameras, no music, no chants, and Klay Thompson floats. That is Klay Thompson's reset button. That is Klay Thompson's spa day. That is Klay Thompson's therapy. Klay Thompson chose, with his own hands, with his own money, with his own time, the quietest possible version of luxury Klay Thompson could find on this earth. Now picture Klay Thompson, the same Klay Thompson, sitting at a dinner table, in a restaurant filled with NBA owners, music executives, and business partners, and across from Klay Thompson is Megan Thee Stallion, doing the chant, doing the dance, hitting the la-dee-da-dee-da, and Klay Thompson is sitting there, fork frozen, eyes wide, looking like Klay Thompson just realized Klay Thompson signed a lease on a hurricane. That is the moment, y'all. That is the exact moment, captured on video, where this relationship died, and the internet just refused to read the obituary until this weekend. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. Y'all are thinking, but Tisa, Megan Thee Stallion was Megan Thee Stallion before Klay Thompson ever slid in any DMs. Megan Thee Stallion did not pull a switch up. Megan Thee Stallion did not lie. Megan Thee Stallion did not pretend to be Michelle Obama at brunch and then turn into Megan Thee Stallion at the after party. Megan Thee Stallion has been Megan Thee Stallion since day one, and you are 100% correct. And that is exactly why this story is so much bigger than a celebrity breakup. Because what we are watching, in real time, is the first generation of men with real money, real options, real exposure, and real therapy, looking at the loud, brand-built, hyper-visible, hypersexual, hyper-online woman of 2026 and quietly saying, no thank you, not for the long run, not for the ring, not for the last name. And before any of y'all comment, no, this is not me dragging Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is talented. Megan Thee Stallion is beautiful. Megan Thee Stallion is a Grammy winner. Megan Thee Stallion went to college. Megan Thee Stallion graduated from college on stage in a sequin cap while the whole world watched. Megan Thee Stallion is not the villain of this story, but Megan Thee Stallion is the case study. Megan Thee Stallion is the public exhibit A for what successful, quiet, business-minded men are starting to walk away from at the altar, and y'all need to hear it because this thing is just getting started. Now, let me say the quiet part out loud, the part that no panel on no podcast has had the spine to say into the microphone yet. Every man, no matter how rich, no matter how famous, no matter how flashy his public persona is, secretly wants the same exact thing when he goes home.
Peace.
Not a peace sign on the wall, not a peace lily on the table, real peace. A woman who does not bring 12 storylines through the front door. A woman who is not in 3 blog headlines this week. A woman who is not rapping in interviews about anatomy in a room full of his coworkers. A woman who, when Klay Thompson walks in tired from a 40-minute game with 27 points and 4 assists, hands Klay Thompson a plate and lets Klay Thompson breathe. That is the secret want. That is the secret prayer. And every successful man, when nobody is recording, will tell you that exact same thing. The number one currency in the world for a successful man is not money. It is not status. It is not even sex. It is silence. And the moment a woman cannot offer silence, the moment a woman becomes a second job, a second feed, a second timeline, a second press conference, the relationship is on borrowed time, no matter how fine she is, no matter how rich she is, no matter how famous she is. And Megan Thee Stallion, through no fault of Megan Thee Stallion's own, by the very design of the career Megan Thee Stallion built, is a full-time press conference. Megan Thee Stallion has the Tory Lanez chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the DaBaby chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the Party Fontaine chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the Blue Face Comments chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the G-Eazy chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the Wiz Khalifa chapter. Megan Thee Stallion has the Trey Songz chapter. And every single one of those chapters is publicly searchable, publicly debatable, publicly memeable, and publicly walkable into any room that Klay Thompson walks into for the rest of Klay Thompson's life. So when Klay Thompson allegedly finally said the words, "too ghetto," "too loud," what Klay Thompson was actually saying in the language men use when men are too tired to be diplomatic was, "I cannot carry the weight of your archive on top of my own." And ladies, before y'all flood the comments, let me be the first to tell you, that is not Megan Thee Stallion's fault. That is the cost of being the loudest girl in the room for 10 years straight. Now here is where I take this somewhere nobody else has taken it. Because every channel, every panel, every podcast that has touched this story so far has framed this as Klay Thompson versus Megan Thee Stallion.
Wrong.
Dead wrong. This is not Klay Thompson versus Megan Thee Stallion. This is the entire next decade of dating versus itself. This is the opening shot of a civil war that is going to play out in every group chat, every Thanksgiving table, every wedding registry, every prenup, and every TikTok comment section from 2026 all the way to 2036. And the reason I am calling it a civil war is simple. Women for the last 20 years have been told, loud and proud, be yourself, never shrink, never code switch, never apologize, post the bikini, post the receipts, post the lyrics, post the X, post the rant, post, post, post.
And women did it.
Women built empires off of it. Women built fortunes off of it. Women built whole identities off of it. And now those same women are walking into the dating market, in their late 20s, in their early 30s, with a brand portfolio thicker than most Fortune 500 companies, and the women are running directly into a generation of men who built their fortunes in the exact opposite direction, in silence, in privacy, in long boat rides alone, in turning off the phones, in not posting the girlfriends, in deleting the Instagram, in going quiet for entire seasons. And those two worlds do not merge. Those two worlds collide. And Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion is the first nationally televised collision. There will be more. And here's the part that is going to make some of y'all uncomfortable, because the truth is uncomfortable. Women still get the first choice in this game, and men still get the last. A woman cannot make a man buy a ring. A woman cannot make a man drop down on one knee. A woman cannot make a man introduce her to his mother. A woman cannot make a man post her on the timeline. A woman picks first, but only from the men who chose to walk up to her, and that means that every woman who is loud, public, branded, archived, monetized, viral, and hypervisible is, statistically, slowly, quietly, getting filtered out of the husband pool by the very men she thought she was qualifying. And ladies, that is not me being mean. That is me telling you what the men in those tax brackets are saying in those private group chats, on those private jets, in those private locker rooms, and on those very, very quiet boats. The men want peace. The men want privacy. The men want a woman who can walk into a room of 7-figure earners and not have to perform. The men want a woman whose name does not pull up 12 headlines on Google. The men want a woman who, when they cheat, because some of them are still going to cheat, Lord help us, keeps it between the two of them and does not turn it into a 17 million follower announcement. That is the unspoken contract these men are now looking for, and the loud girl economy is in a recession, whether the loud girls want to admit it or not. Now let me give Megan Thee Stallion the flowers, because Megan Thee Stallion deserves them. Megan Thee Stallion is a survivor. Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot and still had to convince the world Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. Megan Thee Stallion lost a mother and kept performing. Megan Thee Stallion graduated college on national television. Megan Thee Stallion built a brand, an empire, a sound, a movement, a wardrobe, a culture, and Megan Thee Stallion did it as a dark-skinned, tall, southern, black woman in an industry that punishes every one of those qualities individually. Megan Thee Stallion does not owe Klay Thompson softness. Megan Thee Stallion does not owe Klay Thompson silence. Megan Thee Stallion does not owe Klay Thompson a version of Megan Thee Stallion that does not exist. And that is exactly why this breakup is so important, because for the first time, we are watching a story where neither person is the villain, both people are protecting peace, and the relationship still ends in flames. Both people were honest. Both people were authentic. Both people were exactly who they advertised.
And it still did not work.
Because authenticity is not the same thing as compatibility. Authenticity is not the same thing as alignment. Authenticity is not the same thing as a quiet Sunday morning where neither person has to perform for anybody. And that, y'all, that is the lesson modern dating refuses to teach. Now let me hit you with the part that no other channel has had the guts to bring up. Klay Thompson did not just walk away from Megan Thee Stallion. Klay Thompson walked away from an entire archetype. Klay Thompson walked away from the public girlfriend, the brand girlfriend, the storyline girlfriend, the headline girlfriend, the meme girlfriend, the comment section girlfriend. And the second Klay Thompson did it, every single one of Klay Thompson's peers, every quiet rich man with a championship ring and a private group chat, took a screenshot of the moment, sent it to their boys, and said one word, exit. That is what nobody is telling you. That is the receipt. That is the leak inside the leak. Klay Thompson did not just break up with one rapper. Klay Thompson sent up a flare. Klay Thompson lit a signal fire on the highest mountain in male billionaire culture, and the message was simple. The loud era is over for us. Find the quiet one. Marry the quiet one. Build with the quiet one. Retire with the quiet one. And now every woman who built her brand on being unapologetically loud is sitting at home wondering why the men in those rooms are suddenly, mysteriously, simultaneously, going quiet on her DMs. There is your answer. Klay Thompson did not start the fire, but Klay Thompson sure did pour the gasoline. Now here is the other thing nobody is saying. Men also play chess. Y'all act like men are dumb, like men are out here picking women, like men are picking a snack at a gas station. No game plan, no foresight, no strategy.
Wrong.
Men play chess too. Men strategize too. Men qualify themselves through the women men are seen with. When a man dates a woman that another high-status man has dated, that man feels like the man just leveled up. That man feels like the man just earned a stripe. That is why so many men jumped at the chance to be linked with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is a trophy, plain and simple, in the harshest, most clinical, most male language possible. And the moment a man wins a trophy, the very next question that man asks is, do I display this trophy on the mantle or do I keep this trophy in the case? And most successful men, given enough time, choose the case. Klay Thompson did the math, sat with the math, and quietly closed the case. That is not heartbreak. That is portfolio management. And once you see relationships through that lens, you can never unsee it. Now, let me drop another bomb. Megan Thee Stallion put this relationship on Front Street. Klay Thompson did not. Megan Thee Stallion announced it. Klay Thompson did not. Megan Thee Stallion posted it. Klay Thompson did not. Megan Thee Stallion made it content. Klay Thompson made it a Tuesday. And when a man, especially a quiet billionaire man, watches a woman turn his private life into her marketing campaign, that man does not call you. That man does not text you. That man does not break up with you. That man simply disappears, the way Klay Thompson disappears on that little boat. And then one Saturday morning, a clip drops, an audio surfaces, and the whole internet finds out the relationship was already dead 3 months ago, and the only person who did not know was you. Now to my women in the comments who are about to tell me Klay Thompson is wrong for wanting a quiet woman, listen close. A man wanting peace is not a man wanting a weak woman. A man wanting peace is not a man wanting a silent woman. A man wanting peace is not a man wanting a doormat, a maid, a baby maker, a yes woman, a 1950s housewife frozen in a Norman Rockwell painting. A man wanting peace is a man wanting to come home and not be on stage. That is it. That is the whole thing. Strong women bring peace. Smart women bring peace. Boss women bring peace. Successful women bring peace. Peace is not the opposite of power. Loud is the opposite of peace, and there is a massive, oceanic, billion-dollar difference between being powerful and being loud. Megan Thee Stallion is powerful. But Megan Thee Stallion, by the design of Megan Thee Stallion's own career, is also loud. And Klay Thompson, allegedly, finally said out loud what every quiet rich man in America is thinking: give me the powerful version without the loud version, and watch how fast I show up with the ring. Now let me bring this in for a landing. This is not about Klay Thompson winning and Megan Thee Stallion losing. This is not a scoreboard. Both of these people are going to be fine. Klay Thompson is going to get on the boat. Megan Thee Stallion is going to drop another platinum album. Klay Thompson is going to date somebody quiet. Megan Thee Stallion is going to date somebody loud, somebody who can match Megan Thee Stallion's energy. And both of them will be happier for it. The real lesson here is for every single one of you watching this video right now. Compatibility is not chemistry. Attraction is not alignment. Love is not enough. Vibes are not enough. Sex is not enough. Yachts are not enough. Matching outfits are not enough. The two of you have to be able to be quietly miserable together on a Tuesday in February with no audience, no algorithm, no comment section, no clout, and still pick each other. That is the test. And Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion failed that test publicly, so the rest of us would not have to fail it privately. That is the gift in this entire situation. So, if you are a loud woman, ask yourself, am I loud? Or am I performing loud because the algorithm rewarded me for loud? If you are a quiet man, ask yourself, am I quiet because I am at peace? Or am I quiet because I never learned how to say what I actually need? If you are a couple, ask yourself, can we be boring together? Because if you cannot survive boring, you cannot survive a championship run, a Grammy run, a custody battle, a cancer scare, a recession, or a Tuesday in February when neither one of you has anything to post. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Tell me, were y'all team Klay Thompson? Were y'all team Megan Thee Stallion? Or, like me, were y'all team neither? Team this whole situation was always going to end this exact way. And if this video gave you one new angle that nobody else on YouTube gave you today, hit that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, share this with the loudest friend you have and the quietest friend you have, because both of them need to hear it, and join the channel membership for $5 a month, where the gloves come all the way off. I will see all of y'all on the next one. Stay sharp.
Bye.